Guys, Eric Dier, again, he plays for the boys down the road from here, plays for the Scum Spurs. He's a player I wanted at Arsenal when he was at Sporting Lisbon, followed him when he was at Sporting, followed him during that ill-fated loan at Everton. And yeah, real bargain. It's easy to remember, it's easy to forget, sorry, that this guy is so adaptable. Beginning of his Spurs career, I'm pretty sure he had started off in the side initially at fullback on the right-hand side. Shows his adaptability. We've seen him play centre half, we've seen him play right back. We've seen him play DM. He's a jack of all trades, but to a degree, I do feel he runs the risk of becoming a jack of all trades, master of none, in the sense that yeah, he's 23 and he can do it right now, and Pochettino loves him, but sooner or later he needs to pick a position. But let's get into it in a bit more detail. I like him because he can step out in the middle, he can step out from the back. He's got a sense for danger. Especially when he's playing DM, he can float across and sniff out danger, whether it's on the left hand side, whether it's further up the pitch. Just puts out fires, doesn't take any risks. Confident in possession, can step out of defense with the ball. He's a good tackler. He's good positionally. Yeah, he's just a very good footballer, a person that I have a lot of time for. And in regards to his passing, I'm in love with the long ball over the top, the diag that he does. In that Spurs side, probably only Toby can do it better than him, but he's split a lot of defenses with that. I'm not gonna. Of course, he's a decent free kick taker, but I'm not really gonna praise him for his free kicks in the sense that, yeah, it's an added bonus. But the man, that's not what he's meant to offer to a team. That's not what he's meant to provide for a team. That's just a bonus. And to a degree, I am cautious with Dier because I've been here before in Phil Jones. I'll make a video and bring out a video on Phil Jones and how he let me down later on. But in the sense that Phil Jones came through as a promising player, played the exact same positions as Dier. Yeah, he's gone on and won the league and things like that, but injuries and things like that, it hasn't gone to plan for him. But yeah, like I said, whether it's at the heart of defense, whether it's at protecting the back four, he does well. He does it well. He does it so assured. And yeah, now he's in a bit of a tricky situation in that Pochettino loves him. I mean, the man changed the system for him. He's played like 36 games in the Prem this year, over 40 appearances. He's a loved player, but this is what I mean by in the same sense as Delhi, the guy needs to pick a position. Of course, he can play the DM. Like I just said, he switched to three at the back. It allows Dier to be a defender in possession, out of position to step out in midfield and act like another midfielder, and that helps Spurs to have their great defensive record and remain compact. What he does find himself, however, is that he could easily be the odd one out if Pochettino decides to switch to away from three at the back and a conventional four at the back or whatever. In the sense that there'll be two centre mids. Wanyama, I think Dier is better than him, but Wanyama's been in great form. Take him at face value, like I keep saying to you guys, doing his thing. Dembele, I don't need to say how good Dembele's been, but yeah, and they both probably have more. Well, no, I'm lying. Wanyama does not have more going forward than Dier, but Dier, for what Wanyama offers, he's gonna start. Added to that, I don't feel Wanyama and Dier are the best pairing in the sense that compared to the rest, Dier with others, Wanyama with others, for some reason it seems to work better. But together, you see one trying to press high up the field and one being deserted. They'll work on that this preseason, and who knows what will happen. And yeah, that's it. And that's it in that regard. We said he could play right back. That's clearly his weakest position. He won't have a future at right back. He'll have a future at centre half, in my opinion, in the sense that. And there is I don't know how much game time he's going to get at centre half because Toby and Jan Vertonghen are very good together. Play for Belgium, play for Spurs, great understanding. You'd like to think, if anything, he's going to take Vertonghen's place because Vertonghen's slightly older and time waits for no one. But he still needs to play games. Midfield, he plays well, but there's also games I've seen him play poor. Like, was it Scotland the other day? He can look a bit lost at times, can look a bit unsure of himself. He has got good concentration, but at times I do think he lets it go in the sense that people can run off behind his shoulder and run off, and he doesn't hear calls and things like that. At times I have seen him switch off at corners, but other than that, he's a good player, and I would personally take him. Whether it's the carrying the ball, like I've just said, the calmness, the awareness, the carrying, the guy is a good player. 36 games, like I said, he's clearly vital. Pochettino rates him highly. He's spoken about last year when before they even changed the formation in October, whenever it was, how he wanted to bring a midfielder in the summer, but they were in talks. They were in talks with their coaching staff, and they decided that no, Dier could probably do this thing, and he can. And but for me, you just run the risk of the older you get, the jack of all trades, master of none. Like I just said, at England, he can look a bit clueless. If Spurs were to sign a better defensive mid, no, this you need competition. So you need to not worry about Dier and there being an odd one out. Three at the back obviously means there's no one that's an odd one out and has to occupy the bench for Spurs. But what I mean is that yeah, he's great, and he's I don't want to call him a utility man, but he is doing utility stuff. He's better than to be labelled a utility man, but he's not perfected for a position. If you say he's a DM, some people say he's a centre back. If you say he's a centre back, some people say he's a DM. Some people say his career's in midfield. Some people say at right back. I can't see that one personally, but yeah, it doesn't matter where. The guy just needs to perfect his form, his position, and you will just get better and better. There's a difference between being a certain position and able to play other positions, or just downright playing anywhere. Because you're going to see it with Dele Alli as well. Dele Alli is great going forward and them things, and you've seen him even play deeper in some games. But he needs to even pick a position. I've told this to you guys in a video before. It's like Oxlade at our club. We know he played right fullback, he played centre mid, he played on the flanks. He can play all of them well, but what actually are you? Now, if he decides he's a centre half, I believe maybe he can only challenge with Tongan because Toby is the outstanding right fullback. I mean centre half, sorry, at Spurs. So you've got to think naturally game time might be limited or it might be slightly harder for you to get into the side. We don't know if Walker's off. Ruben's Walker's will be off. Spurs are probably likely to sign a fullback. Personally, I believe Kyle Walker Peters could potentially be brought into the first team. Maybe not initially start, but be brought in. You'd like to think maybe that I could get games like that. But then again, his position is not long-term going to be at right back, so it will be wasting time. Surely, short-term, of course, it will be beneficial to Spurs. But for the actual player's development, it won't. DM, he can play DM, but unless it's free at the back where there's five in midfield, someone is going to miss out, whether it's Dembele, Wanyama, or him, or maybe one of the attackers if they want to play more rigid style of play. Someone is going to miss out. Personally, I believe he's a centre half, like I keep saying. So it gives him a lot to think about. It gives him, Poch, the club a lot to think about. But you can't fault Spurs for having a player like Dier. Can play many positions where required. He gives 110%, and he's got elite mentality. Do you remember when he was called into the England side, sorry, and he said no because he wants to work on cementing his place in the Spurs side? You've got to have big balls to turn down England, to turn down any country, wherever you're from, whether you're from England, Somalia, whatever, to turn down your nation being called up for national pride. That takes balls, and he's going to see the dividends of doing that in years to come. He's 23. So he's not got to be the end product in regards to whatever formation. But every year that he gets older, he now needs to decide what he wants to become. Because I see too many of these footballers. Of course, there's the parallel universe in the sense that you need football is multifunctional. To be honest, to play for any of the big teams or any club, you've got to be able to play a certain amount of positions, especially the attacking players. But then you become a master of none. That's all I'm saying. I personally believe, I have faith in him for being a centre half. He's got excellent leadership skills and he looks like he's going to be an exciting player for Spurs in the future. It's a shame it's at Spurs. But there's not much more to be said on that front, guys. Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. Subscribe, follow, comment if you've got any views. Yeah, I'm out.